today's video, we're gonna do a book reading because I've been seeing a lot of book reading videos on YouTube, but I'm like, let's try it out, so. Today we're gonna be reading Miles Morales, Suspended by Jason Reynolds. Jason Reynolds. JASONREYNOLDS. The illustrations, the colors, the drawings were done by Zeke Pena. Zeke Pena. CEKE, 4 letters. 4 letters. You know why. You know why. You know why 4 letters. And then Pena, which is also 4 letters. You know why. Miles Morales, Suspended. So I actually don't remember where I got this book from. I have a lot of books in my room. A lot of books. I used to be a very heavy reader. Not so much now. But I'm trying to get back into it. So why not? Let me know in the comments below if you guys like this video. And also if you do like this video, let me know what other books you might want me to read. Because I have a bunch of Percy Jackson books, a bunch of Harry Potter books, a bunch of random books. I know this one book called Hatchet. It's one of my favorite books. I think I'm gonna do a video on that one. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? I hope you guys can hear the page turn. The cover art. Spider-Man. If you don't know who Miles Morales is the Black Spider-Man. He is like Peter Parker, but he has another ability that allows him to turn invisible and generate his own electricity, which is called bioelectricity. Miles Morales, Suspended, a Spider-Man novel. Perhaps I stand on the brink of a great discovery, and perhaps after I have made my great discovery, I will be sent home in chains. Jamaica Kincaid from Wingless. Page 1. Spider Fact. It's said that nobody is ever more than 10 feet from a spider. They be everywhere you and me are. And even though we see them only when they big enough to see or when they move like a cursor across the blank white page of a wall, or when we trip the web-like wire of a booby trap, or when they fang our flesh, we should probably assume most. Just be right there, looking at us, looking over them. Page 2. Miles Morales has had quite a week. Last Monday, Miles received a letter from his cousin Austin from jail. Miles never even knew Austin existed. More on this later. Tuesday, Miles was accused of stealing sausages from his campus job. Yes, sausages. He was in his dean's office with his parents, on the brink of expulsion. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Phew. An extra life. More on this later. Later that day, still angry about the accusation and disgusted by his racist history teacher, Mr. Chamberlain, Miles, unaware of his own strength, accidentally broke his desk in history class, but that's as far as he went. The next day, Wednesday, Miles' crush, Alicia Carson, also black, also in Chamberlain's class, also upset about the teacher's racist rants, staged a protest in the middle of the history lesson, was suspended. More on this later. Saturday, which is Thursday and Friday, Miles' father took him to a correctional facility to see Austin. More on this later. That night, the school threw a Halloween party. Two things happened. Excuse me, sorry. One. Miles made his move and gave Alicia a poem he'd written for her. And two. Miles, full of suspicion, his spidey sense had been wonky all week, snuck away and discovered the villain of all villains, the warden, who also happened to be connected to Miles' history teacher, the racist one. More on that later. Sunday, Miles defeated the warden. More best friend and roommate, Genki, gave him a poem left for him by Alicia. Yes, that, Alicia. It was in response to the poem Miles had written her. More on this later. Monday. In history class, Mr. Chamberlain told Miles he had to sit on the floor, for the duration of the class since Miles had broken his desk a few days before. More on this later. Miles refuses. More on this now. Okay, so I don't really know why it's doing this, but the book has the story and it also has small little poems. So we're gonna read the poems too. Poem number 1, page 4. On days like today, Tuesday, I wish I was looked over, looked at, looked in, looked liked, anything other than locked up. Okay, not exactly locked up, but definitely locked in. Next, school suspension, page 5. I'm only here for telling the truth. I'm only here because when you, upset or upstage or upside down, any authority figures, like teachers who can't figure out who you are but think they know who you are and don't know who you are, they name you a big mouth boy, a trouble, a lie. Page 6. This is not a poem, this is a story. It could be said, depending on who you ask, that Miles is the bearer of good conscience. It could also be said that he's a magnet for bad luck. What else would be the reason he landed himself in school suspension after telling Mr. Chamberlain that he was not going to put up with his crap anymore? Besides, telling Mr. Chamberlain he was not going to put up with his crap anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. I read it twice. Oh, wait. My bad. I didn't read it twice. It's in here twice. Exactly. Well, that's not exactly how Miles worded it, but it was definitely the gist of what he shouted while sitting at the teacher's desk in the middle of class. Oh, Miles, why would you do that? Stand up, though. I'm glad that he stood up. That's what people need to do when you think that you're not being treated fairly simply because of your skin color or sexual orientation or religious beliefs or just in general. Speak up and say something. You will never see change if you do not speak. Always remember that. But who could blame the kid? Mr. Chamberlain had been disrespecting Miles all quarter and had finally pushed him too far. Tried to make him small by ordering him to sit on the floor. Again, the floor. To do his classwork. And Miles, drowning in embarrassment and fuming with anger, went off. Told Mr. Chamberlain he was not, number 1, a pincushion, or number 2, a punching bag, or number 3, a puppet, or my special number 4, a pet, or number 5, a pawn. Miles wasn't none of these things. But the truth about Brooklyn Visions Academy is that here, sometimes, Miles felt like all of those things. Okay, page 7 is a poem, My Brooklyn. And I think the poems are from the perspective of Miles, and the story is in a third-person perspective. My Brooklyn. And even though I am a big boy, I am a big mouth boy and can be trouble, I ain't no troublemaker, and I ain't no lie. And just because I'm at this fancy school, Brooklyn Visions Academy, don't mean I ain't the vision of a different Brooklyn, where we talk loud enough to be heard over car horns on Fulton Street, or the grinds of the A train against the rails, or the sirens red, white, and blue. Lights flashing in our eyes, little girls flash smiles at their flashy older sisters, doobie wrapped in trash-talking geniuses in tights and sneaks. Little boys flash middle fingers because it's funny, and their older brothers' lives flash before their eyes before their time. And the sidewalks like a runway for whatever's flying at the moment, and also the possibility we just might lift off and take flight at any time. This is the story part. There was a stark difference between Miles' school and his block. Brooklyn Visions Academy was a boarding school, or as Miles called it, a boarding school, which meant the students actually stayed on campus, ate there, slept there, which meant they lived at school. A concept only a lunatic